Greetings, fellow flameborn. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Enshrouded, Episode 7, Rescuing Our Villager's Farmer. I'm going to have you guys vote on what the priority should be. So, if you vote for questing, here are some of the quests we have available to us. We have got a quest to go find the alchemist. Yet another villager. We also have a quest to go find the farmer. Yet another villager. Both of these are yellow quests, meaning that they're within our skill set. We also have a side quest to find salt mines, to find an ancient obelisk, to discover the flame obelisk, the story of fire, and then the story of rot. Also, I think there's a wolf who's just decided that death... Oh. Huh. Well, there's a goat over there. I swear I heard a wolf, but apparently I didn't. Alright, as far as resource gathering goes, there's always more resources to get, because there's always more gear to make. You know, I'm not at the top of my gear. So if you take a look at the gear that I've got here, I don't have the aerated banshee gel for the helmet or the gloves. So in terms of my set here, I've got the Rising Fighter chest, the Rising Fighter trousers, and the Rising Fighter boots, but I'm missing 2 of the set. Now, it's not absolutely necessary to get that set, to be fair. But, you know, I could certainly benefit from it. That would also be improving equipment, building essentials. So we have most of the essentials here. I will say that I don't exactly have good storage. Like right now, the storage that we have in here is a bit messy and could honestly stand to be improved. But it's not going to do me any harm in the condition that it currently is in, so be it. I also wouldn't mind, oops, didn't mean to click that, cooking a little bit before I leave. Oh, and speaking of cooking, sounds like there's a wolf who decided to help feed me. So nice for them to offer that as an appropriate sacrifice. Excuse me. Pick on someone slightly bigger than you, I guess, because I'm definitely not your size. And unfortunately for me, it actually didn't give me what I was hoping for. Alright, before I leave town, I'd like to start drying fur instead of drying berries. Dried fur is going to allow me to make some new things, and, well, new things are always fun. So, before we depart, let's get that done. Looks like you guys voted for Rad's choice. So here's the thing. I am going to decide to rescue the farmer. So if you take a look at the map here, the farmer is God, where is the farmer? Okay, hold on. Being dumb. Growing Stronger Together, set as active quest. The farmer is pretty close to home level 1, which means it's not unreasonable to go get it. Before I depart, if we got shroud cores, we would be able to upgrade the altar. And we should also start, I'm going to pin this. So this is the recipe for flame level 3. So we need wax, salt, sparks, shroudwood, flintstone, and mycelium, as well as a boss's loot. So I'll just keep that on the pins there as like a reminder of what we might also want to grab. Alright, before I depart, topping up on some water, and then let's go. So here you can see all of the other quests, as well as some flame symptoms that I found while going to the Ancient Spire, and even quests that I don't even know about. Now, generally speaking, the villagers that you rescue, there's like, I think 8 of them, 9 of them, something like that. They are essentially your main quest givers, and they're going to be important as such. The other thing I'd like to do is quickly double back to Ferndale Because there's some things I might want to grab there that I failed to grab last I was here. Let's take a quick look. There's a whole bunch of rats. But yes, one thing I should be... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Down here. Corn cobs. And then, more importantly, grabbing some of the soil. So this gives me something called farm soil. And farm soil is going to be relatively important when we start wanting to farm. The long and short of it is, most crops can be planted on, like, anything you want. Dirt is better than grass. Farm soil is better than dirt, I think. And farm soil can be made once you rescue the farmer. Little spoiler, but, you know, one might assume. The thing is, mining it is a lot easier. So, I'm gonna mine it when I can. And also, plant fibers are kind of annoying to collect, but these farms typically have giant, like, bales of, well, I would call them hay, but you loot plant fiber out of them. And this is a good way to get a lot of plant fiber that you don't have to go running around collecting bushes and the like. Because, I don't know about you, but I don't really like collecting bushes. Flame sanctums are not fast travel points. They are generally where you find sparks. So flame sanctums are like mini temples. The fast travel points are the towers, the spires. Yeah, that's probably enough farm soil for now. How much did I grab? 37? And we can always come back here at a later date to grab more. Now, rude. The other thing is, eventually you get the ability to make water wells. Oh god, can you stop? To make water wells? But until we have the ability to make wells, if I want water, and water is of course another important resource for farming, I would need to collect it from public wells that already exist. So anytime I happen upon a well, it's going to be important to just gather some. Additionally, the orange trees... Oh, look, we have a bunch of enemies. The orange trees drop amber, and amber is another resource that we're going to want a whole lot of. Bye-bye, brigands. So much loot. Alright, so heading up on our way, we need to go, like, north-northeast to the next point where we'll find the farmer. So, she is somewhere up here. Oh, feel free to ask whatever questions you have. I'm happy to answer whatever you'd like. Because it's been about a month since I last played, it's not even like you could ask repeat questions because it's been so long. Oh, look, another patrol. You're just kind of standing there, too. Free for the killing. Do I have... Okay, I only have healing spells. Well, I guess melee it is then. Yo, at least you guys could hit me once. I guess not. Ooh, we got fireball. And I got more dried fur. So, we'll be able to make a smaller backpack, which will give me more storage slots. Once we get back home and collect the dried fur that we started to make. I did get beaten up by a rat, that's true. Just, you know, I was trying to gather water, so it wasn't like I was really aiming to defend myself. Alright, a little reminder about my skills. So the only skills that I've really unlocked so far is the double jump skill, as well as the jump attack, which I haven't really been using. So I should use jump attack more frequently, because I unlocked it Might as well benefit from the unlock. And here we go. An ancient vault for the farmer. So we've gone through ancient vaults before, and the long and short of it is the door that we need to unlock has 3 buttons to press. And I need to find the 3 buttons and get them unlocked. So we're gonna walk around this vault here looking for buttons. I'm gonna start by going, I guess, down and to the right. Omega, thank you for the cheer. I appreciate it. And this is one of the reasons why I like the double jump, because the double jump helps you traverse dangerous terrain a lot easier. So there seems to be like, is this a secret door? Yep. With daggers. Now, last stream you guys had decided that I'm mostly going to be sword board or one-handers. So the daggers... So I don't think the daggers are better than my current weapon. My current weapon goes 32 DPS. This is 13 DPS. The daggers will go up higher level, but it only gives me like poison blades and the like. And the thing is, you can't use shields while you have daggers, and daggers are dex-based, whereas one-handers are strength-based. So daggers are a really good choice if you intend to use bows. Oh shoot! Owie. But because I'm not, I'm going to ignore it. With that said, I might use them a little bit just to show you the attack set. Alright, and there's a button. Alright, I think the, while I'm in here, the pinned thing above me is kind of annoying, so I'll get rid of it. Alright, these are checkpoints. In case you die, you respawn here. And we need 2 more buttons. There's one across the way. Easy enough. And these vaults are usually somewhat linear. So if you don't end up finding the button that you're looking for, you've probably walked past it. Which, having played before, I know is definitely the case, but I figured I'd look around up here for loot before I go back down. Ah, and ice bolts. So the advantage of the fireballs and the ice bolts that I got is I can now cast fireball and ice bolt. So fireball is a good spell to cast on like large groups or undead who are particularly weak to fire, whereas ice will slow enemies down if they're weak to frost. Oh, there we go. There's the other button. So having a bunch of these different spells available to us can be really powerful. Is there actual build diversity in this game? Yeah, absolutely. This is the build tree. If you got like Trickster, Wizard, Healer, Battle Mage, Tank, etc., etc. And because it's a multiplayer game, there's definitely the case where like you can have builds based upon your allies. So if I built a tank and a teammate built a rogue or something, they could get a lot more backstabs down because they can get behind the targets that I draw aggro from, for instance. Hunter's Ring kind of sucks. And we've already unlocked all 3 buttons. So here we go. And here's the farmer. Emily Frey. And I immediately unlock some related blueprints. And we're going to want to head back to the base and build her like a house of sorts. So let's go do that. Oops, I forgot. You really shouldn't move while fast traveling. It will just get canceled. The other thing is, as you rescue other people, some of your initial villagers will offer you additional quests. So, the hunter here, Scree, is asking for me to obtain her lost hand spittle. If you think we're palace, do not fret. With my hand spittle, we could craft better armors. And here is some sets that are crafted at the hand spindle. So ranger set, marksman set. We already had access to the scout set.
Catch you later.
All right. One thing I wanted to do is if we want a farm, I would like the farmer's house to be near the farm, just as an aesthetic preference. So I'm going to have to probably change the way everything's laid out here in just a second. I just collect some of the dried fur we made, so we have like 10 or so. And that's easily enough for me to make a small backpack. So let's get 1 torn cloth and 1 string. If I even have string. I should probably organize at some point. Okay, make string. And there we go. Small backpack for another row of stuff. I'm just going to delete my tiny backpack as it's cheap and does not matter. Alright, for now, I don't intend to really organize much. I'm going to grab some of the basic building materials that we need in order to build a new house for the farmer. And then I'll worry about organization later. Alright, first order of business is to make a whole lot of rough stone blocks. Because my plan is, instead of building out this way, similar huts, like these two people, I wanted to build kind of like behind my house, so that we can stretch a farmland behind it. That way it won't interfere with future growth. Basically, like the village in one direction and the farm in another. And I don't really mind the amount of stone this requires. It's easy enough to mine a little bit of stone up for projects such as this. Alright, so this leaves a little bit of green right outside my house, so it's not, like, stripped bare of its beauty. And then I was planning on just building a little farmhouse here for Emily Frey, the farmer, and then I'll be able to lay out some farming. So the dismantle here, because this is within the sphere of influence of my altar, would delete the stone, which is exactly what I want to do, because I don't really want stone in my farm fields. But because I don't like to terrain deform, because terrain deformities look kind of ugly, as you can see, and I can fix that later if I wanted to with a rake. But because I don't want to terrain deform directly where I live, let's mine stone slightly further out, so you don't ruin the, like, flat prairie aesthetic directly where we live. And it doesn't have to be stone boulders like this. You can just mine into the terrain too. Both way works just fine. So if you go up to a stony mountain like this, we can voxel deform for stone as well, as you can see. I mean, hell, if you wanted to, you could dig yourself out a cave and be a caveman. Nothing's stopping you from doing weird things like that. Because your village does not come under attack, not like it would in like a game like Valheim, it's not like you need to think defensively. There isn't like base raid mechanics. Alright, so with all that new stone, I'll turn it into building stone. So you have like raw stone, which can turn into stone blocks, which you use for actual construction. Alright. Now the only weird thing is, we have a 3x3 house, but everyone else has a 2x2 house, so I'm planning on giving her a 2x2 house, and I'll put it here, and then adjacent to her house can be like, farmland or ranch land, because you can also ranch animals. So the next thing we need for her house, and I should probably update my priority, but the next thing we need for her house is to have some wood for the walls, because, you know, I actually need to build the thing, and then we need some plant fiber for the roof. But I did collect all the hay from the farm, which is essentially plant fiber that we can put for the roof. Alright, I probably have enough materials. And then we'll need furniture for her, but like that could come last. So, make this out of wood. So there's the door frame, window frame. And then in this case, 6 walls. And the roof. Nice. We'll need a door, a window, a bed, a table, a shelf, all that jazz. So for the bed, we need 3 string. I ran out of plant fibers. Did I already use up all the plant fibers I had collected? I think I did, unfortunately. Home sweet hovel. And this is somewhat by design. The intention is that as you guys vote for me to work on, if you vote for town aesthetics, I'll make the homes and village nicer. I just don't want to spend time on things that people don't necessarily vote on. So it's like a basic hovel, absolutely by design. Although, to be fair, I'm the only one building it, and as far as I'm concerned, these other people are like freeloaders for the most part, so yeah. They get what they get. If they want better, they can build it themselves. So, little mattress, side table, stool, want window, and then I need to pick up a little bit more wooden logs and metal scraps for the door. And, of course, it's worth mentioning, things like doors and windows, like this actually doesn't matter to the NPCs. All they really care about is that they have a roofed bed. That's the bare minimum. And, Dead Squall, thank you for the resub. So, if you really want, you could build like one giant communal area that's roofed with a bunch of beds, and that will actually satisfy the NPCs. It's just not how I wanted to go about building. Alright, so bed, window, we'll start with that. Or, not bed, door, rather. Hit X to make it snap. Oh, the other thing we didn't build for her is a hearth. So, I'll get a hearth in here in just a second. Because the others had hearths. But, here we go. Emily Frey, summoned. I'm going to change her roaming range to 0 meters so she doesn't wander around. That way we always know where she is. I'm going to assign her a bed. And now she is supported. Right? She's got a bed, she's got a home. And as soon as I build that hearth, she'll have everything that the others have as well. I just like providing hearths for everyone. Also, it like lights up their cabins, which is kind of nice. So talking to her,
Come, share a
you're doing it, Flameborn. You're healing the Springlands. But our world is vast. Trust me, I've traveled it plenty. Set your sights on the Ancient Spire and the Revelwood. So she wants us to go to a new zone and open it up. Additionally, she has a seed bed. A seed bed allows you to take a matured or harvested crop and turn it into seedlings. And it costs farm soil. Hey, will you look at that? I happen to have the farm soil. So once you build the seed bed, which is like her crafting bench, we can put it down. And then here are the recipes that we have so far. So we have shrubs, which is good for plant fiber. Penny bun seedlings for, mushrooms. Berry bush seedlings for berry bushes. Corn seedlings for corn. So on and so forth. And I think what I would like... So I don't really have the means to make bone meal just yet. So I think what I'm going to do is get some berry bush seedlings. Meaning I need to put farm soil in here, purple berries, and water. So I'll split the stack that I have of water. And then I just need some fresh purple berries, which we can harvest. And purple berries are one of the ingredients you need for healing potions. So having a grown renewable source of it is going to be pretty awesome. Alright, what do you want me to work on next? The quest I'd probably go for next would be Powerful Alchemy to get the Alchemist, because the Hunter Hand Spindle is a bit too difficult for me, as is going to Revelwood. They're a bit over my, my level. Alright, let's go harvest some purple berries. And if you want me to, like, get better gear, you can vote for that. Base aesthetics, etc. It's all up to you. Oh, I have, 6 purple berries on me already. So one thing that's worth noting is the... this takes a while to process for the seedlings. And the other thing I wanted to do is, let's go ahead and take... most of the soil, because I want to put a farm soil back. So here's the plan. If I want, oh, I don't have a lot of rough stone block. Let's get a little bit of rough stone block. I'd like to actually build things like farm plots. Things that look and resemble farm plots. And, that requires a minute. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it. But I'm going to... paint out an area for our farm crops. Actually, might as well match it up with the grid. And then what we could do here is go down to terrain, zoom over to like box terrain, scroll all the way down to farm soil, and we can just plop farm soil in. And as I said before, the quality of the soil that you're farming on affects the grow speed of the yield. So farming in farm soil is better than farming on grass, for instance. And there we go. We have a nice plot for berries. And that's going to be the speed and yield of nice plots is pretty fast. So it's not a big deal to have small areas. The other thing that she can do, if I can manage to talk to her, is she can make a farm animal pillow to be able to bait out goats and have goats. And then with Springland dirt, which is pretty easy to obtain, and bone meal, she can make farm soil as well.
Every bit helps.
So we'll, once we have the means to make bone meal, we can get a lot of farm soil more easily. But I would still say, like, as long as you're not bothered by it, digging up farm soil that you find in the wild is, like, still probably the most efficient. Time efficient. Can craft fencing? You can craft things that look like fencing, yeah. So if you go over to your crafting bench, I'll show you... I don't have access to all of the recipes, but I have some of them. So if you scroll down, you can see that you've got some fencing here. Crude wooden fences and the like. And as you progress and gain access to new materials, they look nicer. They don't really do much function-wise, which is why I'm leaving them out. Alright, you guys vote Rad's choice. So what I want to do is organize loot. And this won't take me very long, but after I organize loot, I'll have you guys polled again what to do thereafter. So, one of the reasons why I haven't really been investing on a ton of boxes is right now we can make small chests. And then small chests can be upgraded to small magic chests. The advantage of the small magic chests is if you're within the vicinity of your chest, you can just use whatever's in there. Meaning I can, like, build with things that aren't in my inventory. Which is really nice. And I eventually plan on getting magic chests for everything. The thing is, the small magic chests don't get upgraded to medium magic chests. You have to build medium chests that become medium magic chests. So I don't really want to over-invest in small magic chests and then almost immediately outgrow them. So instead what I want to do is build a few more small chests. And then after I get a few more small chests, just organize the loot so that it's a little bit more sensible. Because it's arguably not sensible right now. There is no real organization. So, to that end, I'll put a chest here for food at the base of my bed. So anything that is consumable, like anything that you hypothetically could eat, will go in there. Or drink or whatever. Which, fortunately for me, I have these yellow icons indicating that it is a consumable. So it makes it really easy to sort that stuff out. Right, there we go. That's all the consumables. Now, this chest here, I'm going to have another chest, which I need nails for, which will be for, like, gear. The thing is, like, most of the rings and stuff that you get, you can probably throw out, because most of it is, like, garbage, so it's not a really big deal.
Anything else?
I think that's enough nails for one more chest. Yeah. So this one is going to be for items and runes. Runes are like the consequence of melting down items. This one will be for building materials. So I'll pull out things that aren't building materials and terrain. So terrain has and building materials have their own unique icons, which makes it really easy to sort that stuff out. Spells will also be, like, considered gear. And then Shift R will auto-deposit everything of that type. So I think in this chest, in this one, I'll intend to have, like just mass supplied goods. Like twigs, stones, cloth, leathers. Whereas this chest can be more of like the small scale loot. It's not like a tight distinction between the two. But it's enough that I'll know what's going on. And of course those boxes are already somewhat full. But that's fine. Alright, so things are like sorta somewhat sorted. I have 2 hunters. What is my 2 rings? Health regen, stamina regen. And this one is health, stamina regen. Okay, I am fine with the way things are. Other things I could do before I leave is to maybe increase the aesthetic of my current base a little bit for more comfort. So if I made a candle, for instance. Oh, I already have a candle. I think a rug was another thing that the hunter could make. So all these carpets have the same. Do I have a carpet? Because that would just be 20 plant fiber. I do have a carpet. Is there anything else that I could make for... I could build the Thunderbrute trophy for +1, but that's kind of too much. I don't want to do that. That's expensive for its benefit. Because I had to kill a boss for that thing. And these decorative items do not increase decor. So actually, I'm not really sure there's anything I can really do decor-wise in here at the moment. The scavenger bonfire would be higher frost resist, but it's the same comfort. I have a proper bed. I don't have a bench, right? No, I don't have a bench. So let's make a bench. Because I have a table, I have a stool. So if we want a bench, wood and resin. And we'll just, put it right... Yeah, I don't know. Right in front of the window. And now my rested bonus goes up to 19 minutes. Nice. So we have illumination. Scaffolds don't count. Windows don't count. Yeah, I think everything that we can add, we've added. I don't think there's really much in the way of comfort items. Okay, cool. You guys want me to quest, so let's go find the alchemist. Alright, as far as the alchemist goes, we open up the journal. Powerful alchemy is what we're doing. And that is over here at this waypoint. So, probably go to the ancient spire and then work our way over there. I have... So, if we open up the map, I have 2 out of the 4 active altars, which means I can build more altars as fast travel points. So, for those that don't know, the fast travel points are either the ancient spire or any of the altars that you build, plus the cinder vault that you spawned out of. So, we have 3 fast travel sites, and I can have up to 5, essentially. Before we leave, I don't have a lot of cooked meat. So, let's do a little bit of cooking. Because I have 1 more wolf meat left, and then I'm, without food. Yes, you do get to make your own fast travel points as long as you're not in the shroud. And if you're playing with other players, if I recall, you can travel to theirs. It depends on server permissions. Because, you know, you don't necessarily... Depending on server permissions, you're not necessarily allied with everyone. Like, there is the concept of PvP or whatever. But, if you're multiplaying, you can also fast travel to your allies' fast travel sites. Meaning you have a lot of options. So, Omri, I think the pull range of the magic chest is like, if you're in the town, it's everywhere in the town. But don't quote me on that, because I'm not 100% on that. I saw chat, like, speculating about that. I think that's the way it works, but again, don't quote me. I haven't, like, tried to test the range. Alright, I'm over here just to grab a little bit of more water before I leave. And then I also want to plant the berries before I leave. Just break already. There we go. Honestly, I have double jump. I don't even know why I destroyed that fence. I could have just hopped over it. One of the advantages of double jump. Wow, it's let me pull a lot of water out of this well. Well, well, well. 20. Just to prove I could have hopped it. Thank you for tuning in to Enshrouded, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow Flameborn.